Alexandria Industries is a contract manufacturing that produces custom components for many different markets and applications. It uses advanced manufacturing technology and skilled workforce to create extruded aluminum and precision machine products, heat sinks, and plastic injection and foam molded components. The company also provides finishing, welding, and assembly services for its customers. Put simply, Alexandria Industries makes the components that go into products that people see and use every day. Super cool. So we have two guests from Alexandria Industries. First, Lynette Kluver is the Director of Organizational Development, is responsible for strategic planning, human resources, employee and leadership development, safety, and workplace ministry at Alexandria Industries. Her passion rests solely on building a culture of learning and employee wellness within the organization through her creative leadership development training program. Building a company-owned family health and wellness clinic for employees and fostering a culture built on honesty, compassion, and hard work. And then Patty Hoffman is now the marketing and communication specialist, builds awareness of Alexandria Industries through strategic communication programs and B2B marketing. She is responsible for enhancing the company's brand reputation strategically and consistently. Through her dog media relations efforts, Alexandria Industries' efforts to attract employees to work in manufacturing appeared in New York Times and featured article, which includes its Not So Heavy Metal tour for students. Cover story about the company's evolution in integrating automation technology and robotics into its manufacturing services has also featured in Modern Machine Shop magazine. So with that, you guys, Lynette or Patty, you can take
Hi,
over.
everyone. This is Patty Hoffman with Alexandria Industries. We're going to kick off this little section with a virtual tour of our facility. It's videos, so hopefully you can hear everything and see it. And I'll share my screen so that everybody gets to look at it.
I'm Tom Schaubel, CEO of Alexandria Industries, and I welcome you here today. You're going to be touring one of our facilities here in Alexandria. We have a number of other facilities throughout the U.S. Enjoy your day, get to meet our people, and see what we're all about. Well, hopefully you enjoyed your tour. Got a chance to see what we do, meet some of our people. It's really our people that make the difference. Thanks for coming. You're welcome back anytime.
Okay, well, hopefully everyone enjoyed that. We had a lot of fun making it. I know that. A couple of things that are a little bit different about Alexandria Industries is what you see at the beginning of the video when there's the overhead drone shot of our facility. Some of you may know last year we began a huge construction project on our facility in Alexandria. We had a $18 million investment in adding an entirely new front office area to our building. It's a 2-story level building now for offices and a front entryway. And we also purchased a new extrusion press, an aluminum extrusion press, which is one of our main pieces of equipment that we use to make the components we do. The extrusion press is a mammoth machine with takes up a huge footprint in our facility. But with the new technology that comes with this machine and equipment, we are able to increase our capacity, our capabilities on the extrusion technology. And we also were able to obtain one of 5 magnetic heaters that go with the extrusion press in the world. We're the first in the US to have this magnetic heating technology with our extrusion press. And again, one of 5 in the world. A lot of other things that we've been focusing on. Oh, what I wanted to mention too is all of this took place during this lovely pandemic that we've been experiencing. So we had to work around a lot of factors like getting people here to travel from Italy, where our extrusion press came from, coordinating all those schedules, especially when, access into the country was halted for a lot of, people that wanted to get here. So that was fun, but we were able to make it happen and we got it done with just a little bit of delay. And now we're in full production with that. And as we go each day, we're able to work out the bugs and increase our capacities on that machine. One of the other things that's been a big focus for Alexandria Industries is employee recruiting, which I'm sure many manufacturers like us are struggling with, finding the workers that we need to grow. And so we've been putting together some fun social media campaigns and using graphics and posters and banners and different ways of reaching, people that may be looking for work because they lost their job due to the pandemic or other things like that. So it's been a fun road with that regard, and we are seeing some success getting more applicants into, our job openings. So with that, I'll open it up to Lynette if you want to add any comments to what I've said, or we can go right to a Q&A.
I think we can go right to Q&A. Patty, thank you for doing such a great job highlighting what we've done. And yeah, it's pretty impressive inside of our facility here. And even though that video was really fun and I enjoy it every time I see it, what Patty shared, we look very different today now with that $18 million investment with building expansion and new technology with equipment.
Okay. Amy?
All right. Well, just as the format with Gina, we ask if you have any questions for Alexandria Industries, you could submit those through the chat, and I am happy to relay those for you. And we do have some to get us started here. So what are some things in your organization has done to educate students on the great careers available in manufacturing?
Lynette, do you want to answer that?
Sure. That gets to be a huge challenge, and I know you guys are all in the same situation that we are. How do we expose the opportunities that careers in manufacturing bring to our students? We work with the high school students a lot. We're currently working with them on 2 different projects, 2 different, I suppose they'd call them capstone projects. We do internships, we do scholarships. We are very involved in curriculum development, certainly at the Alexandria Area High School, to build relationships to support the manufacturing career paths that they have over there. Every opportunity that we can, back in the day, when we would bring tours, student tours in, very engaged with Alexandria Technical and Community College, not only supporting them again through scholarships, but also curriculum development, donation of machines. So any idea that anybody presents to us, to try to expose manufacturing out there to the youth. And, we've also realized, that we need to go younger and younger and younger to get involved with kids and expose them to manufacturing opportunities. And then again, tell them, that it's not just production jobs. As a company with over 600 employees, we've got marketing, we've got sales, we've got information systems and technology and estimating. I mean, there's just a wealth of opportunities. And so the more that we can get the story out there, the better it's going to be for our futures.
Wonderful, thank you. Another question here. Can you share some of the ways you're caring for your employees during the COVID-19 pandemic?
That has become certainly a full-time job for me. Again, one of the first things we did from the very beginning was to let the employees know that we had a responsibility as their employer to keep them safe. And so I think we were probably pretty proactive in promoting face masks, for example. We had a team of probably about 30 employees and family members who started sewing masks for us from the very beginning. And so either people were donating the supplies or sewing. And again, bringing in all the safety precautions. We have and continue to have disinfecting done by a professional cleaning service twice a day at all of our facilities. And we did that right from the very beginning, the hand sanitizer. We also have our leaders who go around every day checking in with their teams to say, how are you doing? And it's not just work related, it's, how are things going at home? We have what we call an extended leave bank. And traditionally it's been, you can only access it if you're out on FMLA, a doctor certified leave. What we decided to do early on in the pandemic was for individuals who are impacted by either a quarantine or a COVID positive, that they would have the ability to access those ELB hours so that they didn't have to worry about using all of their vacation time or PTO time, to stay home. And as a result, I think we had individuals who are very willing and open to say, I've been exposed, what should I do? And I think that's allowed us overall, again, we have a facility in the Dallas area and in Indianapolis, so those big communities, they were dealing with it long before we were in Minnesota. And I think we had a result. The result was that we stayed healthier because of all the proactive measures that we put in place to make sure that we were keeping our employees safe. But number one was the communication piece. Early on in the pandemic, we were communicating on an almost daily basis, educating our employees. We have our own clinic, and that became just a huge resource for the employees as well. So those are a few things.
Great, thank you. Question here in chat. Are you seeing an increase of movement of people from larger metropolitan areas to rural Minnesota, to people looking for a better quality of life? And then part two, also, when you're hiring today in certain positions, are you offering work from home options? If so, does that mean you can look for employees farther away?
Great questions. You know, we have seen some movement, probably not as much as you would expect. And I think the impact of that is, you know, the ability of so many people to work from home, you know, and so some of that movement is people who have careers, they're not necessarily looking for new careers, but they are relocating, you know, into outstate Minnesota just because it feels safer here. And they have the ability to have the work-life balance, you know, that Gina was talking about, you know, out of those metro areas. Again, from the very beginning, we sent people home who had compromised health conditions. We sent them home first. Then the next group of individuals that we sent home were those who had family members who had some underlying health conditions. And then for a period of time, anybody that could work effectively from home was working effectively from home. That still continues to a certain extent today in some areas. And I would guess that there's a lot of organizations who have a lot of real estate that they're not using right now because we have learned over these past 10 months the tools that are out there and how we can effectively work from home. So to answer that question, yes, we would very much consider people who aren't living in Minnesota or in any of our locations to work from us or to work for us if they have the ability to work successfully from home.
Thank you. What has your company done or what is it doing to grow business?
Well, it was an interesting year for us again. Early on in the pandemic, a lot of those non-essential businesses that shut down, things were a little concerning. And then as those businesses opened back up, things have gotten super crazy for us here. We've hired, since August, we've hired probably about 60 new employees, and we're constantly looking for more as we continue to grow all of our locations. Not everybody is operating 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but we're moving towards that just because of the demand. But, you know, we serve the medical market, firearms, solar, fenestration, you know, so everything that people are doing, you know, is actually positively impacting our work because they're doing home improvements, they're doing staycations, you know, so they want to buy boats and trailers and all those toys. Again, some of the essential industries that we serve, certainly the medical market. So at this point in time, we don't have enough people to meet the demands that are put on the organization. So yeah, it hasn't really impacted us. We don't need to be looking for more work. We need to be looking for more people to make the stuff to get it out there.
Wonderful, thank you. Last question here. What's one thing that sets Alexandria Industries apart from its competitors?
That's an easy one. And I know many of you, might say the same thing, but the culture of this organization is so unique. It's very family oriented. Families are always first, and those just aren't words. And I think, again, throughout the challenges of the last 10 months, people have really seen that families do matter. We have what we call a benevolent fund. It's an internal, so it's a 501c3 organization that is monitored by an internal board of directors and a group of employees. And for any employee who finds themselves in time of financial crisis, they can either apply for financial assistance or a coworker submits their name. And that's just, again, another opportunity for us to care for our employees in a way that probably most other organizations don't. Some of the gifts that come out of the financial or come out of the benevolent fund are thousands of dollars, to help people finding themselves in a time of crisis. So again, I think that just really talks about the culture of the organization, very caring, very family oriented, and there's a lot of long-term employees here. We had a gentleman this week retire after 37 years of service. We have another individual retiring at the end of January who's been here for 48, I believe. So it's just a great culture, great environment.
That's quite impressive. Thank you.
Yeah, I can kind of second that coming from the Twin Cities market, working there. And I've been here about 7 years now, but it is quite different from what you see, you know, in the bigger cities and the bigger organizations and whatnot. I really appreciate the fact that when I show up at work in the morning, you know, there could be 5 people that say good morning just as I'm walking in the door. And a lot of times I never saw that before, but it's a really, really good feeling. And I think to credit to senior leadership and leadership in general for Alexandria Industries, I think they do a great job of communicating with employees, whether it's about COVID, the pandemic, our financials, you know, what's happening as an organization. Our leadership team has always been very open with employees in terms of letting them know what's going on with the company. So it's quite refreshing to be in the know.